Look closer at the world around you. The railroads that cross the continent. The skyscrapers that pierce the sky. The data that flows invisibly through the air. We're told a story of progress, of innovation, of a nation built by laws, governments, and shared ideals. But what if that story is incomplete? What if America wasn't built by consensus, but by conflict? What if the real engine of this country isn't in Washington, D.C., but in the brutal, relentless wars fought between its most powerful titans of industry? Every empire begins with a rival. We think of American history as a steady upward line, a smooth, predictable climb. But that's a myth. The real story is jagged, chaotic, and violent. It's a story of seismic shifts, where entire industries are born and destroyed not by careful planning, but by the collision of immense personal ambitions. Look at the industrial age. The railroads didn't just appear. They were weapons in a war for control over geography itself. One tycoon laid track, not just to connect cities, but to starve a competitor's route, to bankrupt him, to erase him from the map. The goal wasn't just to build, it was to dominate. Now, watch as those old steel rails dissolve. They morph into highways, then into fiber optic cables. The factories of the past, with their smokestacks and assembly lines, transform into the silent, humming data centers of today. The arenas have changed, but the nature of the fight has not. The battle for physical territory became a battle for market share. And now, it's a battle for your attention. For your data. Each great leap forward in the American economy wasn't a peaceful evolution. It was the result of a war. Someone saw a king on a throne and decided to tear the castle down. This is the hidden engine of America. A relentless cycle of creation through destruction. Competition didn't just build companies. It built the very systems the country still runs on. Why does this brutal process create such explosive progress? Because peace creates comfort, and comfort leads to stagnation. Rivalry, true existential rivalry, forces a pace that normal business could never sustain. When your entire empire is on the line, you don't innovate quarterly, you innovate daily. You find ways to make your product cheaper, your delivery faster, your system more efficient, not for the good of the customer, but as an act of aggression against your opponent. Your rival cuts prices. You find a way to offer it for free, even at a loss, just to bleed them dry. They build a supply chain that takes 3 days. You build one that takes 2, then 1, then hours. This is pressure creating diamonds. This is fire forging steel. Each clash, each battle, forces an evolutionary leap. The two forces pushing against each other generate immense energy. The one that can't withstand the heat doesn't just lose market share. It collapses. It gets absorbed. It vanishes. In this arena, there's no prize for second place. The winner doesn't just succeed. They inherit the world the loser helped build. The infrastructure, the customers, the technology, all of it is fuel for the victor's ever-expanding empire. America doesn't reward stability. It rewards whoever survives the fight. These wars are not abstract. They have shaped every single industry you interact with. Think of the retail wars. It started with storefronts competing on Main Street. Then came the big box stores that turned Main Street into a ghost town. And then, the e-commerce giants, who weaponized logistics and turned the entire country into a single, massive warehouse. Shipping wasn't just about moving boxes. It became a weapon. Next-day delivery wasn't a convenience. It was a declaration of war, a move designed to make a competitor's business model obsolete overnight. The winners scaled to unimaginable size, while the losers became footnotes and boarded up buildings. Look at the tech wars. Personal computers, search engines, social media. Each began with a garage-born idea, but it was rivalry that forged them into global powers. The fight wasn't just about better code. It was about creating a closed ecosystem, an operating system that locks you in, a social network that becomes so essential you can't leave. In this war, data became ammunition. Every click, every search, every like was a resource to be harvested and used to build a more powerful weapon, a more accurate algorithm, a more addictive platform. One side achieves critical mass, creating a network effect so powerful it becomes a utility. The other side becomes a forgotten name. Then there are the media wars. From newspaper barons fighting over headlines to streaming services, battling for your subscription. The fight has always been for one thing: your attention. Attention became currency. Content isn't just entertainment, it's bait. The goal is to capture your focus and hold it, creating a deep, habitual dependency. The winner isn't necessarily the one with the best shows, but the one with the deepest library, the stickiest interface, the most aggressive global rollout. In these battles, there are no heroes or villains. There are only outcomes. And when billionaires fight, the economy changes direction. But every war has a cost. The battlefield isn't empty. It's populated by workers, by consumers, by entire communities. While the titans clash in the sky, the consequences are felt on the ground. This relentless drive for efficiency, for lower prices, for faster delivery. It doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from immense pressure applied to the system. That pressure is absorbed by warehouse workers pushed to impossible speeds, by delivery drivers managed by unforgiving algorithms, by small business owners whose life's work is rendered irrelevant overnight. We celebrate the convenience, the one-click purchase, the instant access, the world of content at our fingertips. But this convenience comes with a hidden dependency. We become reliant on systems controlled by a handful of winners. Our choices narrow, even as they appear to expand. Our data is no longer our own. Our jobs become more precarious, subject to the whims of a market defined by a distant, high-stakes war. For every empire that rises, there are countless invisible casualties. The system, forged in the fire of this conflict, gets stronger, more efficient, more dominant. But the people inside it, the people carry the weight. So why does this cycle never end? Why doesn't the winner just enjoy their victory? Because the very system that creates these titans is designed to destroy them. America as an economic concept doesn't reward balance, it rewards dominance. Monopoly isn't a side effect, it's the prize. But that very dominance makes you a target. The bigger the empire, the more it invites rebellion. Every king sitting on a throne is a challenge to a new generation of disruptors who see a vulnerability, a weakness, a new technology that can topple the old guard. Rest is punished. Stability is a death sentence. The moment a company stops innovating, stops fighting, stops expanding, it begins to die. The cycle is built into the DNA of the economy. A challenge arises, fueled by venture capital and a desire to dethrone the incumbent. They wage a war, burning cash, sacrificing profits, all for market share. If they succeed, they become the new dominant power. They become the new empire. And in doing so, they paint a giant target on their own back. Success doesn't end the war. In America, it starts the next one. So we are left here, in the shadow of these colossal structures built by conflict. We live within the systems these wars created. We use their products, we depend on their platforms, and we feel the tremors of their next great battle. The pace slows. The chaos subsides, for a moment. We are in the quiet pause between wars. A new technology is being born in a garage. A new source of funding is looking for a giant to slay. The battle lines for the next conflict are being drawn, silently. The question we must face is not about the past, it's about the future. Like this video if it made you think. Comment your opinion below. Share it with someone who needs to see this. And subscribe to understand the systems shaping our world.